I never thought I'd be writing something like this, but here I am. My name's Mark, and I've been married to Lisa for about 5 years now. We met when we were both young and stupid, and honestly, I believed we had a pretty good thing going. She was always a bit bitchy, but I figured it was just her personality, sharp, quick with words, a little difficult sometimes, but I loved her. Or at least I thought I did. The first signs that something was off started a few weeks ago. Lisa's been more distant than usual, coming home late, claiming she was stuck at some conference or another work event. She'd lie about where she was, and I'd find her phone buzzing constantly with texts from her boss, a guy named Ryan. He's a smooth talker, always sending those good morning and good night texts, which I thought was kind of weird, but I didn't say much. Women like Lisa don't just cheat, right? Not unless they're really unhappy. I figured she was just busy, stressed, maybe even flirting a little just to feel alive. She also started dressing differently, more provocative, tighter clothes, high heels even when she didn't leave the house. She'd get these mysterious calls, and the way she'd quickly grab her phone or turn away when I tried to peek over her shoulder. Nothing concrete, but the signs were there. I tried to brush it off, telling myself I was just paranoid, but deep down I felt this gnawing suspicion. Then, just yesterday, everything exploded. I came home unexpectedly early. I wasn't feeling well, so I decided to skip work and rest. I opened the door and immediately noticed the faint scent of perfume I didn't recognize. My heart started pounding. My gut told me to check the bedroom first. I don't know what I expected, maybe just a mess or her phone lying around, but what I saw was way worse. There they were in my bed. Lisa was on top of Ryan, her boss. They were tangled up, kissing, touching each other like they'd been doing it for ages. I froze. My mind went blank. I couldn't believe it. It was like a punch in the stomach, a gut punch that left me breathless. Everything I thought I knew about her, about us, just shattered in that moment. She looked up, saw me, and her face twisted into this bitchy, sneering expression like she was annoyed I caught her. Ryan, he looked surprised too, but quickly recovered and started trying to get dressed. I don't even remember what I said. I just stood there, watching her lie through her teeth. She's the queen of lying, by the way. The way she looked at me right then, like she was disgusted that I found out, made me realize I was blind for so long. She immediately started spinning stories, saying she was at that conference, that Ryan was just helping her with a project, that I was overreacting, that I didn't understand how complicated everything was. But I saw her face, that cold, bitchy smirk, and I knew she'd been lying from the start. No way you kiss someone like that in your own bed unless you've been cheating for a while. I was furious, but mostly numb. I couldn't believe I'd let it go so far. I'd trusted her, loved her, built a life with her, and this was how she repaid me. With lies, cheating, and some sleazy affair with her boss. It was a lot to process. I wanted to scream, to break things, but I just stood there staring at her, trying to get a grip on what was happening. That's when I knew my life was never going to be the same again. After I saw them, everything else just blurred out for a moment. My mind was racing, trying to process what I just walked in on. I couldn't believe she'd do this in our bed, in our house, like it was nothing. My stomach turned, and I felt this strange mix of anger, betrayal, and a deep, crushing sadness. I never thought Lisa, the woman I loved and trusted, would do something so manipulative and cruel. She kept trying to talk her way out of it, throwing out excuses as if that would make everything okay. She said she was stressed at work, that Ryan was just helping her with a project, that I was overreacting, that I didn't understand how complicated things were. But I wasn't buying it. Her face was so full of contempt, like I was the one bothering her, disrupting her perfect scheme. She even had the nerve to call me jealous and accuse me of overreacting like I was some insecure idiot. Honestly, I almost laughed at her audacity. I'd always been faithful, always trusted her, and here she was, lying through her teeth, acting like I was the problem. I just stood there, trying to hold it together. My hands were trembling, the shock of it all hit me hard. I felt like I'd been punched in the gut so many times I couldn't breathe. I looked at her, and for a second I saw the girl I married, the girl I thought I knew. But then I saw her face, cold, dismissive, full of disdain, and I realized she had been cheating on me for some time, not just a one-time thing. This had been going on behind my back and she had no remorse. I didn't yell. I didn't scream. I couldn't. I just looked at her, feeling this wave of rage and heartbreak washing over me. I wanted to smash something to make her feel as useless and betrayed as I felt, but I couldn't. Instead, I just told her to pack her bags, that I wanted her gone. She threw a fit, calling me crazy, saying I was ruining everything and that she deserved better. Yeah, right. She was the one who threw away everything we built, not me. I didn't sleep last night. I kept replaying everything, trying to understand how she could do this. How she could lie so easily, screw her boss in our bed, and then act like I was the wrong one for catching her. I feel sick just thinking about how she looked at me, that smug, bitchy look she had, like she enjoyed the fact that she'd betrayed me. That's what hurts the most, knowing she wanted to keep it a secret, wanted to make me feel like I was crazy for suspecting anything. Right now, I'm just trying to breathe, trying to figure out what I do next. I know I can't stay with her, not after something like this. The trust is gone, and I don't see how I could ever look at her the same way again. But part of me still feels this crushing weight of loss, like I lost the girl I thought I knew, and now I'm left with a hollow shell of a marriage I don't recognize. I feel so angry at her, but also so painfully sad, like I've been punched in the stomach repeatedly. I still can't believe I'm even writing this out, but maybe sharing it here helps. I just want to figure out how to move forward when everything's been shattered so completely. Since yesterday, I've been trying to process everything, but honestly, it's an uphill battle. I keep waking up in the middle of the night, replaying that scene in my head, her in bed with Ryan, her sneer, the lies she spat out when I confronted her. It's like my brain refuses to accept that this is real. I keep asking myself what I did wrong, whether I missed signs, whether I should have seen it coming. But the truth is, I never expected her to cheat on me. I thought we had a good thing, or at least I convinced myself we did. I've been avoiding her calls and texts all day. She's been trying to contact me, of course. First, she called, then sent a string of messages. Her tone is bitchy, like she's annoyed I'm not bending to her will. She's playing the victim. You don't understand how stressful work has been, she says. Ryan helped me with a project, that's all. We're just friends. I'll admit she's good at lying, but her face, her attitude, everything about her screams deceit. That cold, smug expression she has now, like she thinks she's above me, like she can get away with it. I went out today just to clear my head. I didn't tell anyone where I was. I needed space to breathe, to think about what comes next. Everywhere I went, I kept seeing her face, that look she gave me when I caught her. I felt a deep anger boiling inside, but also this overwhelming sadness. How did she turn into this person? How did someone I loved and trusted become so dishonest, so manipulative? I kept asking myself these questions. I also started thinking about revenge, honestly. Not some childish payback, I mean. I've been thinking about ways to make her regret everything she did. I want her to feel what I feel right now, betrayed, humiliated, broken. Maybe that's petty, but I'm too hurt to care. Last night, I even considered confronting Ryan face to face, but I know that won't fix anything. I just want her to see the damage she's caused, see that I'm not some fool she can lie to and walk all over. I reached out to a couple of friends, one guy I trust, Mike, and told him what happened. He's been supportive, telling me I don't deserve to be treated like that I should think about what I want next. But honestly, I just feel lost. I've been with Lisa for so long, nearly half my life, and now she's just gone. That's what hurts so much. The fact that someone I loved and built a life with has been secretly lying and screwing around behind my back for who knows how long. The weird thing is, I keep trying to find some sort of explanation that makes sense. Maybe she was unhappy, maybe she felt neglected, maybe she just wanted some excitement. I don't know. I guess part of me hopes she'll come clean and admit she was wrong, but deep down I doubt it. Lisa's the type to double down, to lie her way out of everything, to act like I'm the one who's crazy. It's infuriating. That bitchy attitude she has now, like she's proud of what she did, that only makes me angrier. I keep thinking about the future, about what I'm supposed to do from here. Do I try to fix this? Do I fight for her, or do I just cut her loose? Honestly, I don't have an answer. Right now, all I want is to get some clarity, figure out how to move past this pain. But I know one thing: I'll never look at her the same way again. The trust is broken, and I don't think I can ever rebuild it. All I know is I want her to feel the same betrayal I do. That's the only thing that might give me some peace. It's been a few days now, and everything feels like a blur. I try to keep busy, but honestly, my mind is stuck on what I saw and how I feel. Every time I close my eyes, I see her in bed with Ryan, her bitchy smirk, the way she lied so effortlessly about everything. I keep asking myself how I missed the signs, how I could have been so blind. I thought she loved me, that we were solid, but now I realize I was just fooling myself. She was cheating the whole time, and I never saw it coming. I've been thinking a lot about her personality lately, about how she's always been kind of bitchy, quick to throw tantrums, dismissive when I tried to bring up problems. I guess that's part of why I never saw what was really going on. She's always been the kind of woman who manipulates her way out of things, who lies and winds her way into getting what she wants. And now I see that she's also capable of going behind my back, cheating on me with her boss like I was nothing. It's hard to process how someone I loved and who I thought loved me could turn out to be this way. I also spent some time reflecting on what I want next. Honestly, there's a part of me that still wants to hurt her back. I mean, she's so full of herself right now, acting like she's the victim. I want her to feel the same betrayal and heartbreak I'm feeling. Part of me has even been considering some revenge plans. Nothing too crazy, just enough to make her realize she's messed up and that she can't get away with it. I guess I want her to see the damage she's caused, to understand what it feels like to be that vulnerable and betrayed. Maybe that's petty, but right now, I don't care. I've also been talking to some friends, trying to get a grip on what I should do. Mike, my best friend, told me to think about myself first, to stop worrying about her and focus on what makes me happy or at least helps me breathe. He said I don't owe her anything anymore. That hit me hard because I've always been the kind of guy who's loyal, who's committed. But now I see that she was never really committed to me. She just wanted her secret life, her lies, and her little affair with Ryan. It hurts so much to realize I was just a pawn in her game. I've also started considering how to tell the rest of the world about this, how to make her regret her choices. Not in some vindictive way, but just enough to show her I'm not going to be a fool anymore. I want her to feel small, to understand she lost someone who truly loved her. I think about how I'll handle work, how I'll face friends, family, everyone who thought we were perfect. I don't want to be a victim, but I do want her to see the consequences of her actions. Despite all that anger, I feel this overwhelming sadness too. I wonder if I'll ever find someone who truly cares about me like I thought Lisa did, or if I'll just end up alone, trusting no one again. It's a terrifying thought. But I also know I can't stay in this limbo forever. Something has to give. I need to decide whether to fight for myself to get out of this mess or to try to salvage what's left, and honestly, right now, I don't see how there's any salvageable part of us. The trust is gone, and I don't think I can ever rebuild it. All I know is I'm exhausted. Mentally, emotionally, physically. I keep asking myself how I got here, how I let her manipulate me for so long. I want to believe I'm strong enough to move on, but part of me just wants to crawl into a hole and hide forever. I keep hoping that one day I'll wake up and this will all be a nightmare. But I know it's real. I know I have a long road ahead, and the worst part is I'm not sure what the end looks like anymore. It's been a week since I caught her, and honestly, I'm still in shock most of the time. I go from feeling numb to furious, then sad, sometimes all in the same hour. The house feels empty without her here, but at the same time, it's like the silence is louder than ever. I've been staying at my parents' place for now, just to get some space and clarity. Every time I try to think about what to do next, my head starts spinning. I've made up my mind that I can't stay married to someone who's so manipulative and dishonest. The trust is completely broken. But the hardest part is figuring out how to move forward, whether I should fight for a divorce or just cut ties completely. Honestly, I don't have the energy to fight. All I want is to be done with her lies, her bitchy attitude, and her stupid excuses. She's been texting me nonstop, trying to guilt trip me into talking, into working this out, but I just ignore her. I've told her I want a clean break. The thing is, I've also started planning some revenge. Not some petty, childish thing. I'm talking about making her feel the pain she put me through. I don't want to humiliate her publicly, but I do want her to see that she lost someone who cared about her. I've thought about leaving her a note, explaining just how much she's hurt me, how betrayed I feel, and how she threw away everything for Ryan. I want her to understand that she's not getting away with this. She's going to regret every second of it. I've even started gathering some evidence just in case I need it, screenshots of her messages, details about her affair with Ryan, times she lied about her whereabouts. I want to be prepared, not out of some desire for revenge's sake, but because I know she's going to try to manipulate the situation in her favor. She's always been good at twisting things around, making herself look innocent, and I need to protect myself. Lately, I've been feeling this creeping sense of dread. I keep asking myself if I'll ever be able to trust anyone again. I used to believe in love, in loyalty, in the idea that I'd found my soulmate. Now I see how fragile all of that was. Maybe I was naive to think she truly loved me. Or maybe she just loved the idea of a comfortable life, and once someone better came along, she jumped ship. Whatever the reason, I feel like I've been played. Part of me still hopes she'll come to her senses and apologize, but I know that's wishful thinking. Lisa's the kind of woman who doubles down when she's caught, who refuses to admit fault and instead blames everyone else. She's already started trying to spin her story, telling her friends she was just stressed and Ryan was only helping her with a work issue. That's her pattern: lie, deny, manipulate. I don't want to be part of her game anymore. I've also been reflecting on what I learned from all this. It's hard to admit, but I think I was too trusting. I believed in her more than I should have, and that made me vulnerable. I let her get away with a lot, convinced that she was just bitchy sometimes, not capable of doing something so cruel. But now I see that I was blind. I should have seen the signs, the little things that added up. I should have listened to that gut feeling when she started dressing differently, or when her phone buzzed constantly. Now I'm trying to focus on myself. I've started working out, trying to get healthier, and I've signed up for some therapy. I know I need to process everything, and I've realized I can't do that alone. I'm also trying to stay busy: work, friends, just anything to keep my mind off her and Ryan. I know I'm hurt, but I refuse to let her steal my happiness completely. This whole experience has been a brutal wake-up call. I don't know what the future holds, but I do know I won't be staying in this endless cycle of betrayal and lies. I deserve better. I need to rebuild myself, piece by piece, and somehow learn to trust again. I don't want to be bitter forever, but I also don't want to forget what she did. That lesson is burned into my mind now. Never ignore the signs of a bitchy, lying, manipulative woman hiding behind a pretty face. That's what I've learned, and honestly, it's a hard lesson to swallow. Today, I finally made the decision. I'm filing for divorce. It's been a brutal ride, but I've reached a point where I realize I can't keep living in this shadow of betrayal. I'm tired of feeling like I'm walking on eggshells, trying to piece together what's real and what's just her lies. Honestly, it's liberating but also terrifying, like I'm stepping into the unknown after so many years of comfort, even if that comfort was built on lies. My mind is clear now, or at least clearer than it's been. I've gathered enough evidence to make sure she can't spin her way out of this, and I know exactly what I want: to move on, to rebuild my life without her bitchy attitude and manipulative games. I've told her flat out that I want a divorce, that I want her out of my life for good. She's been furious, calling me every name in the book, accusing me of being the bad guy, but honestly, I don't care anymore. She's the one who threw everything away. I've realized that I deserve better than this. I deserve honesty, loyalty, respect, not a woman who cheats on me, lies to my face, and then acts like I'm the villain for catching her. I know it's going to hurt for a while, but I also know it's better for me to be alone than in a relationship built on lies. I'm not perfect, but I'd rather be single and find someone who actually cares than stay with someone who treats me like I'm nothing. Looking back, all I really want to say is that I've learned a lot from this experience. It's taught me not to ignore the red flags, not to be complacent in a relationship, and most of all, not to let anyone manipulate me or take me for granted. I've been naive, I'll admit, but I've also grown stronger because of it. Betrayal like this feels like the end of the world, but it's also a new beginning. I'm finally free from her bitchy, lying ways, and I'm determined to start over. To anyone reading this who's going through something similar, trust your instincts. Don't ignore the signs, no matter how small. Get out if you feel something's wrong, and don't be afraid to walk away from people who don't deserve you. I thought I loved her, but love isn't supposed to hurt this much. I've learned that the hard way. Now I'm focusing on healing, on rebuilding, and on making sure I never let myself be blindsided like this again. So yeah, that's where I am. It's over. I'm hurting, but I'm also stronger. The betrayal was a slap in the face, but it's also the push I needed to finally walk away and reclaim my life. And I hope, someday, I'll look back at this and realize it was the catalyst I needed to find real happiness, not in her, but within myself.